Today I finally get to share the new glorious Model O2 wireless gaming mouse with you today. And in this video, I will be covering this mouse top to bottom along with many comparisons to the original glorious Model O wireless. Is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth the price difference? Because now you can get the Model O wireless original version for a pretty nice price of only 63 bucks. So is it worth that price difference of 100 bucks here on the new one? I'm gonna answer everything for you today with the new mouse from Glorious. But first, a word from our sponsor here being Corsair in the HS65 wireless. The HS65 wireless are packing a punch for a budget wireless headset. 50mm drivers, wireless with Bluetooth, flip down to active microphone, flip up. As you see, you got these nice super stinking cozy ear pads here, nice and breathable and nice and plush right there. And the build of this headset is stinking solid. You got metal hinges, metal reinforced headband. It's just covering all the bases here. Again, for a budget wireless gaming headset, you put it on your head and it's just like, oh my gosh, I can sit here and game for hours, you know? And again, you got Bluetooth so you can catch your call, listen to your music or something like that, and then flip right back over to your game. Now, a really cool thing, I'm not sure if you guys noticed on the box over here, something I want to let you know, this Sound ID. It's really neat. A lot of us can get a little mixed up with gaming headsets these days, right? There's so much into them. Dabble with your EQ, pull the sound out what you want. With Sound ID, you'd actually answer a few questions right through Corsair software, and it's going to pull out an EQ to your preference. Like, what kind of music do you like? Do you like more bass, more treble, yada yada yada, so on and so forth, and it'll pull an EQ out to what you like. And believe you me, it actually works. It's really cool. Now, if you want any more information on a Corsair HS65 wireless gaming headset, make sure to check out the links right down in the description, and they'll be right there for you. All right, so let's go on and get back to the glorious Model O. Here we go. Talking points of the Model O2. Oh shoot, am I still recording? And I'm over here reading the God, son of a gun here. All right, guys, y'all know old Techne. I'm not gonna read the dang marketing mumbo jumbo here. Talking points, hybrid wireless connection, next generation sensor. Y'all know that's not what you get from Techne. Maybe I can slap it up with some cool fancy text in the background of the video and really look professional like I know what I'm talking about, right? But there is something I'm just gonna let you know, just so you can see it. Let me get a little zoom on here for you. If you want some tech specs, here you go. You got the wireless and you got the wired one. Pause it, zoom in, look at what you want right there, because I am not going to bore you with this stuff. Also, you want a little bit of comparison of tech specs? Here you go. You got the wireless and the wired one right there from the old and the new. Pause it, zoom in, see what you want to see, because I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of numbers. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go on and get the mouse out here. Now, as far as in your box of your glorious Model O2, again, we have the wireless version right here. You're going to get your mouse, which you can get in white or black. You can get all your paperwork, some stickers, your cable, your dongle, and then your little dongle adapter. And let me tell you what, getting this in the hand, it feels very similar to, again, the original Model O, but the crazy thing is if you look at it right here, it's very hard to tell in the camera, and maybe it's jacking with me, but even when I look at it, I see it. This tail end, it's almost a little more pure. It's a little bit more streamlined right here, rather than this one kind of swooping out. A lot of FK over here in the original, Zowie FK, right? Coming over here to this one, I don't know what it is, guys, but when I put it in my hand, I feel it just sitting back here a little bit more, rather than this one is almost like it just kind of swoops in a little bit. Let me pull it here and see if you guys can see. Bam, you're looking right there. Okay. Let's go on and look on the back side, and you can kind of see it a little bit more. Now, again, we got a black and white one, so that's going to be a little bit. But if you see the white one, just look at this curve on the outside. Is it just me? But it seems like it's flaring out a little bit more. You kind of got that swoop. So that might throw you off a little bit as I talk about it. I'm talking about the old one has a little bit more flare. You can see the curves a little bit more. But what I'm getting in my hand is that my fingers aren't going in as much. It's kind of, again, streamlined. G Pro Wireless might be a good example, right? It just kind of flows back. That's the vibe I'm getting here, and it's very symmetrical and even throughout my hand. Very natural is the best way to put it. Again, no matter where my hand is, it feels like a good solid fit. Of course, that's going to be different from user to user. Now, I know they gave us the weight difference on the spec sheet, but let's go on and check for ourselves as well. When we slap it on the scale here, the O2, we're getting 66 grams over here. When we slap the old one on, we are getting 72 grams. Okay, so we got nothing on there, no different feed or anything, all stock. Again, old one, 72, new one, 66. Now, looking at that mild weight reduction right there, do you actually notice it as a user and in your gameplay there? Me personally, not a single bit. And again, I was going one to the other, playing Destiny, Call of Duty, such, and I personally couldn't tell the weight difference at all. Is that as far as that shape that might just be messing with my head, how it's fitting in my hand? I think so, because I've stated it many times before that it's the shape, not necessarily the weight. Like you had a big plump ergo mouse, Model D or something like that. How is it going to fit your hand? Is it too big? Is it too small? How are you flicking it? Just with fingertips? Is it actually in your hand? That's what's going to play into way more than just the core number of the weight. Hence the reason stinking marketing material numbers that they're going to spit at us mean absolutely nothing, because it's going to matter how is it fitting in your hand. And me, 1 to 2, I can't tell a difference. Now I want to talk about a few things that really stand out separating the Model O2 compared to the original Model O, and that's when you flip this mouse over here, not even talking about the improved sensor or anything like that. I mean, they feel the exact same to me, honestly. But more importantly, you have Bluetooth on this mouse right now. And right along with that, you got extended battery life. Now, they state you get up to 210 hours of battery. Of course, that's going to be in Bluetooth and pending how bright your RGB and which effects you got it on and such. When you flip it over to 2.4, which all of us are going to be using whenever we're gaming, you get up to 110 hours of battery life. Again, pending on that RGB that you're using. Me personally, I never had a single issue with battery. I mean, I gamed forever with this thing, and it just had juice always, and I kept my RGB on a solid red. And looking at the RGB, it is pretty much the exact same as the original glorious Model O. It just swoops right over here. You can see it shining through a little bit, right on those little angles there. And on your DPI, you have that DPI light on the bottom, which, by the way, you still have your DPI button on top. We see a lot of people going away from that, but Glorious is keeping it. And yes, you can still adjust your RGB right by the buttons on the mouse right now. Something I absolutely love when companies do this. Hold a few buttons down, flip-flop it, your brightness, your effect, and all this stuff. Love how you do that, so you honestly just never have to use the software. Now I want to just twist this mouse around a little bit, let you look over and see if you can see some of the other differences compared to the original glorious Model O wireless. The number one first thing I want to talk about that is probably a little harder to see, well, that's the coating. Of course, I got a white one here, so it's not going to be as easy to see. But over here on the black one, you kind of see, you get that light reflecting off in certain points. This is almost like a PBT keycap kind of feel, kind of like what we've seen from Razer and such. A little bit more grippy. I personally like this. I mean, texture and the coating is going to be up to the user, right? Me personally, I like that little bit of texture on it. Over here on the original one, it's definitely smoother, definitely feels like that core plastic with nothing over. You don't got like that little rubber coating type of feel, matte feel that you got on the, say, G Pro Wireless. It's definitely just a smooth feel. Over here, you have that slightly grippy kind of keycap feel. Now, the first significant difference you're going to notice with this mouse in your hand compared to the original one on those 1 and 2 is there are some significant finger grooves on this. I mean, it locks your fingers in there. If you're a really aggressive player, flicking and dipping, you're gonna love this. Because again, it's gonna hold your fingers in there really nice. They're not gonna, feel like they're sliding off or anything. They really lock into place. And it is a significant difference going one from the other compared to the old one to this one. It's almost like, holy smokes, like you're sliding into a glove over here. Really, really cool. Now, that also goes into play with the scroll wheel here. I feel like the scroll wheel, it feels slightly higher. Like I almost got to lift my finger up a little bit more, but I don't think that's because it's raised up or because 1 and 2 is because you got that clear hollow cutout scroll wheel right there. Unlike the original one where you got that big rubber deal and it kind of rolls up over. So over here, you feel like you can roll up onto the scroll, which I prefer using. Over here, I feel like I almost got to lift up. Again, different person to person. Now, one other difference I personally noticed compared to the original, going over to these side buttons, not necessarily how they press and how they feel, which I'll give you the sound test here shortly. It's just the reach for them. And that goes right into the shape that I talked about before, being a little more streamlined, where I feel like it kind of just grabs me back a little bit more, unlike being a little bit thinner on the other one, where I kind of flip and dip there. It's, again, it could just be messing with my head, but for me, I feel like I really got to reach for that front button over here. This back one is in like the prime time location. It's like bam right there all day long. When I need to get up to this front one, I almost feel myself kind of like move my arm to get up to the front one. Again, it's going to be different person to person, but when I'm using this one, since again the side's a little slimmer, I feel like I can just reach up a little more. It's right there. I mean, even on the original one, I wish they were scooched back a little bit, but over here, with the shape feeling a little different to me, I wish they were seriously scooched back a little bit right here because I struggle to get that front one. Whenever I press that front one, I'm pressing the back one. And as far as the sound of the buttons, very crispy across the entire mouse. So as you heard and as you saw, very crispy, right to the point, no play going right down. When I press it down, bam, it's there. It's business all day long, right to the point. Now, unfortunately, let me show you this. There is a significant amount of move going left to right here on my copy on both buttons. Right? Now that's just me going like this. The thing where that really catches, again, going into those significant finger grooves, if you're wanting to grip your mouse inside and press down here, you're gonna feel it and you can almost see that button kind of bow a little bit, right? You press it, bam, your high heated moment. Look at it bow on the outside here. And you do feel that. Same goes on the inside. So if you're pressing right in the middle, prime time, you're good to go all day long. But if you're on any of these other sides, it feels very chintzy and you feel them move around like nobody's business. And no, you don't get that on the original one here. No matter where you press it, my copy here feels incredibly solid. That is a big time stinker here. Now, I only have one copy to compare it to, so I can't say, oh, hey, it's just mine, this, that, the other. I don't know. It's just the one copy I have, and that's what mine is. Now, what else I can tell you here, which is a little fishy in my opinion, my mouse, my review unit here was open. The seal was cut across the entire mouse. So what I'm thinking is, hey, we got a reviewer's unit. Are we going to check him out? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being crazy. Maybe that's just what I'm thinking, but I don't know. My mouse was open. So I'm thinking, well, hey, if someone opened it and they looked over it, well, that shouldn't be passable, right? You shouldn't send it out. That is a stinker. And I really do hope this is just the one copy I got. Let me know down in the comments if yours is doing that as well. But other than that issue on 1 and 2, this mouse is incredibly solid. I don't have any bottom flex, no front flex, no side flex, no rattling, no nothing. This thing is incredibly rock solid. And that is so cool to see. Y'all remember from day one when Glorious was the hype of the town, I couldn't stand it because it was a flexy piece of junk. It caught all the hype. We want to get our affiliate clicks out there and make some money, but I just couldn't jump on it because it was just, as much as I wanted to, it's just great consumer product, it's fair price. It was a piece of junk. It's so cool seeing Glorious get to this level of such a solid product. Now, as far as wireless performance, the Model 02 was absolutely snappy and to the point. No hiccups, no delays, no nothing. Again, I'm using it wireless, which you can use it wired while it's charging everything. And by the way, this is one of the better wireless cables I've seen with a wireless mouse out there. Very, very nice cable here. And again, it does lock in there, kind of like we've seen with G Pro before. Bam, you got that slight kick up. It's not gonna drag on you. It's not gonna wiggle on you. Really nice job here. Now, one thing I do wish they did over here on our dongle, and I call every company out on this, I wish it was just standard in the industry, put the stinking model name on the gosh darn dongle. Like, I got so many Glorious products, I don't know which dongle I'm putting in where or where the heck I placed my dongle. Now that we got a good look over of the new Glorious Model 02 wireless gaming mouse, we have 2 questions we need to answer. Number 1, should you get this mouse? Number 2, should you upgrade it from the old Glorious Model O wireless? Let me see. Hold on one second. I got to see. I forgot the price of this here. Let me see. Where's the... Now we got ultra lightweight, next gen sensor, incredible battery life, redesigned menu buttons, talking points, text specs. Out of all of this, right? Out of all this here, I got a 5-page spiel of stuff I should talk about, and they don't even tell me the stinking price. Who wrote this, Glorious? Like, come on, guys. We gotta fire that guy. All right, so luckily we have Google here whenever I need to get my facts in line, right? I mean, I probably should have went to Reddit. I mean, those folks over there just know everything, don't they? The Glorious Model 02 is coming in at $100. Now, you can get the markdown original Model O for $64. Whew! That makes things really hard. And I don't know if this is a temporary sell or they discontinuing it, just trying to get them out or what's going on here. But no joke, for $63 right here, jump on this. That's the price of a wired mouse, and this is a darn good wireless mouse right here. So okay, $100 for the wireless Model 02. Is it worth it? I love the texture and I love Bluetooth. Hopefully, again, the 1 or 2, That's my copy. Hopefully it's not all of them. You know what I mean? If that is on all of them, I'd say pass on it completely. I really do. But yes, at $100, I think it's packing a serious punch. But again, I don't know if I can justify it with this being $64 right now. Right now, as we stand, yo, go buy this over this all day long. Once this is discontinued and this is the only one we got for $100, I think you got a good buy. I really do. Let me know what you guys think about this right down in the comments. Do you think this is a good move? Do you think the mild changes are worth the difference? I want to hear from you all right down in the comments. But again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this one. Hope I was able to answer a few questions and help you out. If you got any more, again, ask down in the comments right there. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.